Good day, Dr. Craig. This is my entry on a critique on tables, figures, and interpretation of data as what we have discussed in our class last meeting. I chose a dissertation entitled Perceptions of General Education and Special Education Teachers Towards Inclusion, a quantitative study by Charity L. Keener of Liberty University. Okay, so I took screenshots of table 4 and figure 2 because their data presented are related. Okay, for table 4, it is entitled Independent Sample T-Test for Attitude Toward Inclusion Scores between General Educators and Special Educators. Okay, so as what we can see, the title of Table 4 is presented on top, which is according to our discussion last Saturday, this is correctly done. While Figure 2 bar chart for attitude toward inclusion by position, the title for the figure is on top, but during our discussion, Dr. Craig mentioned that the title for figures should be at the bottom part. Table 4 answers the research question 1. Is there a difference among general education teachers and special education teachers regarding their attitudes towards inclusion in middle or high schools? Hypothesis 1. There is no difference among general education teachers and special education teachers regarding their attitudes towards inclusion in middle or high schools as measured by the Attitudes Towards Inclusion survey. The findings of the independent sample t-test were not statistically significant. T58 is equal to negative 0.05, P is equal to 0.958, and D is equal to 0.02, indicating that there were not significant differences in attitude toward inclusion scores between general educators and special educators. General educators and special educators both had a mean score of 3.93 for attitude and toward inclusion. The findings of the non-parametric Mann-Whitney U-test were also not statistically significant, where Z is equal to negative 0.30, P is equal to 0.765, further providing evidence of non-significant differences in attitude toward inclusion scores. So during our discussion, Dr. Craig mentioned that the hypothesis or the interpretation of data should not repeat what is on the table or on the figure, but as what we can see, the interpretation here in the interpretation here, the writer or the author of this dissertation repeated what is on the table. She put here the figures or the numbers found on the table, wherein her interpretations is enough to support or to explain the table. So no need to put all the figures here on the interpretation. That would be my short critique on this dissertation. Thank you and God bless Dr. Craig.